The princess of the Jai family is even more unbearable. Not only is the strength crushed, dignity has been almost completely lost. Classical Chinese, the official from the Huang party's face turned bright red. Anger surged like a tidal wave in my chest. This group of people has an extremely detestable expression. Suffered the same disastrous defeat at the hands of Zhu Yi. Is it really honorable to lose by planting a tiger? The remaining ministers felt a mix of emotions. This is just a brief moment. Zhu Yi has already grown to this extent. The younger generation, who else can extinguish his arrogance? When, at that moment, the sound of drums echoed from the watchtower, the ministers' faces turned blank. He headed towards the Golden Phoenix Hall. Taikcha Palace. Kitchen. Snowy cherry blossom blanket. A pair of crystal clear, jade-like feet stepped on it. Fat Cat's paw grabbed its own ear, thinking deeply. Feeling wronged, the group of women stared at the several dishes in front of them. Spoke coldly. She puts the seasonings in this order. Fat Cat's eyes are misty. Yu Miao stopped again. Did I forget? Dai Wu Jin Shuang gently raised her eyebrows. The same materials. How come I can't make that flavor? Continue. The fat cat let out a mournful cry. Take a break and lean against the stove. Flames burst from her cheeks. Dai Wu Jin Shuang took 2 steps back. Seemed to sense something. The whole person suddenly disappeared. Yao Guang electric stage. Master Yu lowered his head, offering a book with both hands. In an instant, the surroundings were enveloped in a bone-chilling cold. Fifth Jin Shuang's gaze was icy, like an iceberg that has never melted. Dun Chi Gu, a hasty dog won't stay. Qil Yuo, Hut, rules interwoven. Radiance soars to the sky. This group stepped into the void. The breath seems capable of shattering the universe. Chapter 75. The wind blows. A sky full of blood mist. Jiuzhu horror. 2 towering cliffs stand imposing. The blue sky was like a thin line, as if shaped by a celestial axe. Dunchi Drum is located in the narrow passage. Spiritual energy swirled around the sect. The glow of twilight envelops. At this moment, Juji embraced his face, and the sturdy donk I was shattered with a single blow. The veins on the beautiful woman's neck bulged, as if enduring some kind of torture. The skate. This Lio actually has a space captive refined by the Bible. Drum housewife, don't panic. Everything is under control. The deputy drum master in the hall looks calm, rather than being calm and composed. The remaining elders took turns to bow. Not a trace of worry. What harm is there in escaping by luck? It's just wasting some time searching. In front of the Nirvana mirror, the so-called world-class genius just casually stepped on an insignificant ant. It only depends on when to take action. To be honest, they initially resisted this decision strongly. Everyone thinks the drummer shouldn't let hatred cloud his judgment. After all, there are rumors that Zui Liao is the confidant of the 5th demon lord. This identity still makes the Dun family very wary. But now the drummer is confirmed. There are no guardians around this land. It can be inferred that it has been moving The fox exploits the tiger's power. That must be punished with 1,000 cuts. Fenggu Lion Hun. Only then can we wash away the humiliation suffered by the Dun family. Madame May's out-of-control emotions began to settle down. I remember my beloved daughter again. Hatred arises unexpectedly. I will imprison your 7 souls and 6 spirits. Let you endure countless hardships. The Zhu family will all die. The entire family was haunted by vengeful spirits and evil ghosts. Everyone finds it perfectly suitable. Such revenge is only to be expected. The strong treat the weak like ants. It is okay to be willful without any reason. This is light. Humans eat chicken, pressured goose, and rabbit. Will you consider their feelings? At this moment, suddenly it took a drastic turn. The sound of the four immortal emperors echoed, spread across this land and sky. Kai yin len lai, kai dao da kai, kai lai zhen chi, chai zaya chan zayo, an illusory phoenix. Soaring through the sky, these women stand tall on the phoenix. The entire person seemed like they had walked out of a myth. Brilliance shines brightly. Moment. Ah, this scene is not suitable for a thunderous shock. The blood of everyone in Dunn's Valley had almost coagulated. One by one, terrifying. The vertebrae are all shivering. They know. It's broken. Something big is wrong. My people. Dunn's Valley was also moved. The fiery and colorful sky. The green copper figure of Jinshuang reflected the red hue, chilling to the bone. The power of the sound is unparalleled. As if the divine power that opened the heavens and created the earth at the beginning of the universe. The elders of the Dunn family valley felt as if they had fallen into an ice cave. Countless disciples in training, under that terrifying atmosphere, shivering in fear, rumbling. In the attic, many prodigies were sketching each other. Ancient runes burst forth, forming a great array of sofas. Come out. Ding Wu Jinfeng's expression was indifferent. The sleeve swirled. A chilling cold envelops the universe. Oh, the moment the cold breath swept in, the elders arranging the formation in the hall turned into ice sculptures. The soul was deeply moved. No, the beautiful woman's face twisted in pain. Standing tall, a jade-like face appeared with ice patterns. Immediately, the entire person transformed into a puddle of cold water. The spirit of the journey is completely extinguished. A light strike. The disciples of the Dunn family were heartbroken. Their eyes were already red and swollen. Tears streamed down uncontrollably. Impossible. The power of the fifth demon lord. It left the entire sect in despair. Please, Empress, show mercy. At this moment, the mournful voice dispersed the chill of the sect. An old man from the Gulu slowly appeared in the void. His face was covered in wrinkles, like the gnarled roots of an old tree. It is the grand elder of the Dun clan valley. These women are as wise as if they were deaf to the world. The phoenix draped in talentless feathers. The shadow emerged to explore, where killing intent fills the air. The flames burned a deep red like blood diamonds. Seeing this demon remain unmoved. The old man's face instantly showed despair. His sorrowful plea. Nying Yang explains the reasoning. Dunn's Valley's genius died at the hands of Zhu Beiwan. The ground has no wells, both sides expressionless. Mo Ran said, "He can kill you all. You can't move him." This is the reasoning of this palace. Rumbling, crimson flames engulf, lofty towers and caves. Dunn's Valley has completely collapsed, turned into ash in the blazing flames. The calls resonated through the heavens. Splash, the struggling disciple, eyes full of tears. Kneeling on the ground, they trembled and crawled. In the face of death, there is no pride at all, no intention of going to die. However, the bone-chilling cold operated like a cold machine. Wherever he goes, the air turns to dust. The old man at the end of his rope looked insane, incredibly fierce. Dai Wu Jing Shuang, you destroyed my Dun family valley tunnel. Killing sins run rampant. May you die a terrible death. He began to burn his beastly bond. The power of Kai and blood has become terrifyingly multiplied, exuding an overwhelming aura. It contains the rules of the sacred realm. forming chains capable of tearing through the void. Well, a sacred sword was summoned. Want to take a desperate gamble. This sword is terrifying to the extreme, greatly sweeping across the universe, reversing the yin and yang forces. Dai Wu Jing Shuang. The gaze was completely devoid of ripples. The way of the palm flows rapidly. Countless patterns intertwine in the void. A purple river stretching tens of thousands of miles appeared. The grand elder of the morning departed under pressure. This scene is too shocking. It felt as if the icy river from the heavens was swirling down to the mortal realm. Its terrifying power can be called the heavenly law. The old man's expression was one of extreme horror. The chain of the law is broken. The holy sword's light dimmed. Rummel, rummel. The icy river howls as it approaches. The old man let out a terrible scream, drowned within it. The body is collapsing inch by inch. Escaping soul, under the cold gaze of the phoenix's wooden perch, consumed by the flames. The world fell silent in an instant. The ice cave quickly melted. In Huang Mengsheng's world, the group of women vanished into the depths of the clouds. The crimson sunset spreads across the sky. Light and blood reflect and complement each other. The vast land is a sea of red, like a blood pool of hell. The wind passes through the narrow sky, like weeping and lamenting. Late at night, suddenly, two cracks appeared in the void. My men gazed at the river of blood in the Dunshi Valley. A holy sword wielder wearing a golden crown. Chilling. The tranquil heart of the ancient well quietly stands. The secluded valley that has been passed down for over 3,000 years. Smoke dissipates into the clouds. Not a trace was left behind. The bone warehouse of the half-stepped sacred sword has fallen. Another old jade with a blurred face. Fingers and toes are cold. Hoarse voice. Just a step away from the spirit gate to enter the holy sword. The woman who brings endless dreams to the Jeju mainland. It has been silent for a long time. Why did you suddenly strike? This groundbreaking news will surely spread throughout the 9 provinces and major doctrines. The 5th demon may have already lost its willpower. Dingling. The divine artifact began to resonate. Lao Yu frowned as he listened. The view is filled with unimaginable evil. The master of the Dunsh Valley ambushed Zhu Beiweng in Yunju. Zhu Beiweng used the spatial passage to escape. What? Void shock. The powerful golden crown holy sword instills dread and terror. Just because of this completely exceeded his understanding. It's simply absurd and bizarre. This young successor with a rising reputation. Didn't we survive? Just a little bit wronged. The 5th demon lord is about to annihilate the entire sect. Subeba. Old Liu murmured softly. I had long made up my mind. Don't let your own kids provoke him. If enmity arises unintentionally, the older generation must never seek revenge. This needs to be included in the sect's regulations. Whoever defies will die. In the mind of the powerful wielder of the golden crown sacred sword. The same thought. This Zubeiwai. I'm afraid it's the reverse aging of the 5th demon lord. Chapter 76. Xuan Mala, rich void, waving the rolling waves. Abba, Aoyangxi, the master of Dunshi Valley, laughed. The wind howled in desolation, incomparable tragic grandeur. His burning red eyes shed tears of blood. Cracked lips trembled incessantly. The sect is gone. His sect leaves no trace behind. Zui Liao, I tried my best. I will also kill your whole family. A scream that pierces the lungs. That voice was filled with overwhelming sorrow and guilt, and the hatred of the common people in the marrow of their bones. It shouldn't be like this. The low 5th demon. Artless. Aoyangxi looked as if he wanted to tear apart. The surging breath of the law flows. Crazy escape must live on. Living is the only way to seek revenge. Just at that moment, the body suddenly stiffened. Rummel, rummel. Two divine pillars connect heaven and earth. The vast black currents swept through, surrounded by immersion. The void shakes. Two people are walking over. Appeared in front of fiancée, a person wearing a black felt hat, holding a long staff. At the top of the staff is a moving eye. The other wore an iron mask. A warm mist envelops the body, unable to distinguish between reality and illusion. The owner of the sparrow has issued a command. Dun is a place where not a single dog or chicken is left. You're the only one left. A voice devoid of emotion echoed softly. Fiancée felt as if struck by lightning. Fear instantly swept over my whole body. All the internal organs are in turmoil. The person of the phoenixed sparrow, two nirvana mirrors. Why must we go to such extremes? He breathes wildly, roaring at the sky. The other side remained silent. Each summoned their magical artifacts. Two terrifying laws spread out. After a stick of incense, Fiancée's struggling primordial spirit was crushed. The soul was severed, completely eliminate. The air is filled with an ancient desolation, amidst the ancient mountains and tombs. A region shrouded in dark clouds, like a land drenched in blood, with countless bones. On the ground, a figure in a white robe had a cold expression. The body is entangled by vine-like mirrors. Hello, unlucky. Rolly beside me was bound hand and foot. In the eyes, tears filled with regret. One should never do this. Shouldn't follow this person. Walking out of the labyrinth prison. As soon as I stepped out, I ran into a Nirvana-level expert. Relying on the transfer talisman, opened the spatial passage. I thought I had escaped a disaster. Who knows that it fell into the misty abyss, still the central area. Despite the random teleportation, it could fall in the territory occupied by the fierce beasts. What terrible luck this villain has! Not surprisingly, both of them were captured, always imprisoned here. I will be crushed to death by them. Yuo Lai closed his eyes, choking back tears. Tears fell like broken pearls. Zhu Beiwen coldly stared at him. Stop howling. HMPH. Yuo Lai stared wide-eyed. But in an instant, she broke into a smile through her tears. Murmured quietly, I'll see if you live or die. Truly reached a desperate situation. He can always cut off his tail to survive. Not to the point of losing one's life. This villain is quite pitiful. Once the blood sacrifice summoning is successful, about to be possessed by an ancient demon spirit. His body is filled with vigorous energy. Even the monsters are not tempted. Puff, puff, puff. Suddenly, heavy footsteps echoed like a mountain moon. A strong smell of fish filled the air. A large black bear, the beast with a head that can kill a lion, approaches. The entire body is surrounded by a glow. He scanned the two with a greedy gaze. The breath of a concealed heart swells. Smiling softly, she said, the women of the Hu tribe are quite flirtatious, waiting for the master to emerge from seclusion. Just enjoy you. As for you, from now on I will submit to you. Amidst the chaotic stone forest, a vast cave, a dark mass of birds circles low in the sky. When does the blood sacrifice end? On the golden chair, a giant serpent is spitting out apricots. Colorful mist envelops the area. He swims slowly, transform into a graceful fish-like beauty. That person's human appearance. Make him drool. I've been dreaming about it these days. Together to wushen for clouds and rain. Unrestrained, refrain from your lust. The second seat, a lizard with fiery red scales, glaring at each other. Where is the fox? A ferocious beast with the head of an ox and the body of a tiger. Muwang si mai mai. The lizard stared at him. The deep voice left no room for doubt. Wait for the master to finish. Then it's my turn. Next is your turn. This is the rule. Understood. The happy creature with a bull's head and a tiger's body responded cheerfully. Out of the blue, a piercing cry echoed from 7 miles away outside the cave. Second in command, "It's not good." A stone monkey stumbled in. A dazzling scale was clutched in its claws. All beasts, all brows. This monkey is specifically responsible for communication with the outside world. Could it be that there's something blind to the truth again? Breaking into Cloud Mist Mountain, the stone monkey knelt on the ground. The voice was filled with sobs. "We are in trouble. A great disaster is upon us." HMPH. The fierce beasts were all restless. Like a raging tide surging, the lizard transformed into a fierce old man, angrily said, "What exactly is going on?" And the air was thick with the aura of scales. A handsome, unblemished face appeared above. "The wind is blowing outside now. This person must not be offended." The stone monkey's limbs trembled like sifted chaff. HMPH. Like a giant stone falling into a lake, the cave fell into an eerie silence. This face. Isn't that the person who was captured? Madame May smiled seductively. Jiao Shen said, "A mere 7th rank cannot be offended." "You monkey, are you here to tease me?" The stone monkey choked back tears. "Lady Serpent, she is the anti-aging of the 5th demon lord." Madame's smile suddenly vanished. The cave is quiet. Fell into a deathly silence. Change of attitude. The news from Yao Yuan is relatively isolated. I really don't know who this human is, but the name of the 5th demon is well known. That is a terrifying figure from the 9 provinces. Just 2 days ago, Dun's Valley was ravaged by the 5th demon lord. The reason is that the Valley Lord killed this man. A half-step Saint Realm powerhouse from Dun's Valley has died. All the Grand Masters have perished along with their divine spirits. The stone monkey finished relaying the news in one breath. Well, the ferocious beast in the cave was utterly shocking. Half-step sacred realm. Isn't that equivalent to a near-death realm beast? The ancient demon's soul can only exist in the realm of death. They are the big boss, 2nd tier. They are at the 3rd level of the well. Thinking about it this way, the lizard and other fierce beasts were terrified to the point of breaking their hearts. There is a kind of blunt knife with the power of foreskin. Oh heavens! When the 5th demon descends upon Yumu Mountain, killing them is as easy as pulling weeds or picking flowers. Easily done. The news is accurate. The lizard's face was completely devoid of color. The stone monkey knelt on the ground, nodding continuously. The lizard felt dizzy and disoriented. The soul curled up in despair. What should be done? Niu Tu Hu Shen was the first to regain his senses. Said in a hoarse voice, "Humans fell from the void's rift. Perhaps the 5th demon lord doesn't know where he is." Fool. The beautiful woman twisted her expression like a giant snake. Lips trembled. This terrifying existence. Definitely master the method of pushing the eyes. If anything happens to his reversed scale, Yao Yuan, fear will be leveled to the ground. I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. The atmosphere was like a creepy wooden cellar. Hurry up and apologize. The lizard let out a wild roar. The figure disappeared without a trace. The remaining ferocious beasts rushed towards the red land. Should we ask the leader? The bull-headed, tiger-bodied creature was terrifying. My mind is clearly a beat slower. The beautiful woman with the giant snake coldly stared at him. "What the hell are you talking about?" "Chai dai." A figure in a white robe stood beside. The expression revealed no trace of emotion. He calmly looked around at the trembling fierce beasts. Dan said, "Huh? Do not continue to imprison me." Yule Lai's eyes widened. "Can't figure out the situation." In fact, Zhu Beiwing was equally puzzled. "But I must put on a calm and composed appearance. We are content yet blind to the obvious. Please, noble sir, do not hold grudges against the petty. Lizard, a formidable third-tier beast." But he lowered his head with a fawning expression. "Still haven't figured it out. The reason for the change in the other party's attitude before." Zhu Beiwing tried to remain silent. But this appearance fell in the eyes of the beasts. It made them feel even more uneasy. The bull-headed, tiger-bodied creature chuckled foolishly. "We didn't know you were the fifth demon lord. But you are one of the fifth's people." As the voice fell silent, Zhu Beiwang's tense body relaxed. There is a subtle smile in his eyes. "Got it. I'm about to start showing my true colors. Roll away." A cold voice came through. The white-clad figure slowly walked into the red earth pit, bending down to pick up the vine. This scene sent chills down the spines of the fierce beasts. My throat is dry and hoarse. This is a deep-seated hatred for the cloud mist monster. "Young master, you are a beautiful woman, and the giant snake has a bitter expression on its face." The gaze of the man in the white robe was profound. "The ancient well is calm. It's nothing. I enjoy the feeling of being trapped." His tone was understated. A faint chill of desolation lingered. "Hush!" A fierce beast resembled a startled saddle lip. Shrinking his neck, his expression was sorrowful. Regret, fear, filling their entire heart. If the fifth demon lord descends, by then crying and wailing will be of no use. Think this through." The lizard gritted its teeth. "Young master, we are willing to compensate. Yes, feel free to speak. We barbarians don't know etiquette. One must pay the price." Beasts chattering away. Zhu Beiwing's expression was emotionless. He knows the principle of moderation. If in a hurry, one might jump over the wall. Not to mention this group of ferocious and ruthless beasts. The boss's power is really effective. He paused slightly, sighed. Neil suddenly realized it wasn't too late. "This time I'll reluctantly let you off the hook." The fierce beasts felt as if they had been granted amnesty. "This breath hasn't been caught yet. I just need a bit of blood from a fourth-tier demon beast or higher." The white robe slowly extended a finger. "A drop. The lizard's soul is indifferent." Zhu Beiwing shook his head. "A bottle." The lizard endured the pain. "I can't." A gentle voice drifts through the air. "Huh?" The fierce beasts stood there stiffly. "My mind is almost in a chaotic state." Yule Lai opened his small mouth with a look of disbelief. "The jar. Do you know how much a jar of essence blood contains?" "No way. We, the Fog Demon Abyss, are not to be trifled with." The lizard firmly refused. The tone is very resolute. "The appetite is comparable to a small snake swallowing an elephant. Simply not worth mentioning." Zhu Beiwing gently wiped his sweaty palms. Laughing casually. "Please. A face with a single eye. I wish I could tear it apart and bite it to pieces. Even more arrogant and shameless than us ants. At a stalemate. West." A faint muffled sound came from deep within the mountains, as the radiant light flows through the sky. A strange black eagle with a single horn on its head appeared in the red earth. He held a golden tile in his hands. Rich blood energy roared out. "There is about half a jar of essence blood. Welcomed, esteemed leader. Welcomed, great leader. All the fierce beasts knelt down together. The voice was respectful and reverent. The beautiful woman's gaze was terrifying like a giant serpent. It seems that the greatest fear still lies with the leader. The puppy's eyes turned away. Hurry out after hearing the news. The Black Hawk transformed into an elegant man. Slightly smiled. Make a friend. Please accept this. Yuali stared eagerly at the golden tiles. I'm drooling with anticipation. Zhu Beiwen pondered for a long while. Only the genuine energy surged. Put the golden tiles into the storage room. Leave a line for others. Don't push the fierce beast too hard. Let it be half filled then. The elegant man let out a quiet sigh of relief, despite being a second tier. But before the fifth demon lord, they are still ants. With a snap of the fingers it could be extinguished. Young master, then I'll take you out. He couldn't wait to see Andir. This is too dangerous. It's best to stay in Jing at the Yaoguang Palace. What did he remember? Seeking the way. Is there a spider spirit here? The beasts of chaos were puzzled. Not subconsciously. Zhu Beiwen chuckled lightly. That's a bit troublesome. As far as he knows, the silk spun by the spider is very soft, has extremely high elasticity. It is far superior to materials like silk and satin. Now, just find a dark-skinned female spider spirit. Then I will replicate it myself. Da Zhang seeks a monthly pass. Chapter 77. The evening breeze is still gentle. The sky is a deep blue without a cloud, suddenly engulfed in a vast fog. The roar of the beast was deafening. A giant beast bone over 100 zhang long, coming through the winds and waves. Behind the beast's bones, following dozens of terrifying beasts, surrounded by protection. A snow-white robe stands on the beast's bones, fresh and untainted, exceptional and transcendent grace, like a young immortal. And master, we're almost at the capital of Dakian, with a bull's head and a tiger's body, accompanied by a simple-hearted smile. Cautiously accompany. In the misty, walking on thin ice, I dare not relax. What if this person encounters unforeseen circumstances along the way? The fifth demon lord was enraged. Then it was just caught by a disaster. Simply deliver it personally to the capital, just for the sake of peace of mind. Zhu Beiwen gazed at the clouds. The emotions swirling in my chest are hard to calm. On the way, he knows the reason for the beast's change in attitude. We also know what the boss did. It was the first time in his life that he felt a surge of emotion, like the lonely darkness. The beam of light that appeared. What ring, Grandpa? What ancient legacy? Zhu Beiwen doesn't envy at all. I don't want it either. I only need one big brother. Stop. Zhu Beiwen looked down at the bustling little town below. Suddenly spoke up. What is this? A creature with the head of an ox and the body of a tiger is filled with doubt. Zhu Beiwen remains silent. Daifu Wenshugu slowly descends. He stepped onto the flying boat. Transformed into purple and gold, it departed. He saw the small town, a workshop. The female workers are toiling diligently. 10 days later, Zhu Beiwen walked out with satisfaction. The silk spun by the spider spirit, truly exquisite, far surpasses silk. And Ji Ma Ling Luo, the stockings are not only ultra-thin, moreover, it is delicate and smooth. The gentle touch brings a tingling sensation. Young master, where else do you want to be carefree? With the body of an ox and the face of a tiger, it bore a fierce expression. The tone also became sarcastic. We will escort you back to Beijing. You are doing well, leisurely wandering in the mundane world. It's just too arrogant. They treat our Yao Yuan like a servant. I'll take care of the Empress's task. Is there a problem?" Zhu Beiwen frowned at him, a nonchalant tone. Hearing this name, the muscular body with a bull's head and a tiger's body suddenly went limp. "Tremble quickly for it." "No, no problem." He forced out an awkward yet respectful smile. Zhu Beiwen looked at him coldly. "Hurry up." "Speed up." Dusk. The beast drums thundered, crushed through the sky. Blind Mountain outside the city. The creature with a cow's head and a tiger's body learned to clasp its hands like humans. Heroic path. The green mountains remain unchanged. Green water long flow. We will meet again some day. I added a line in my heart. I never want to see you, Zhu Bapi, again. Zhang Shikaishu, greedy and shameless. If all humans were like you, the land of Kyushu will no longer have a place for to survive. A figure in a white robe stepped forward. Kyuhyu's little Loli is sleepily rubbing her eyes. She hurriedly caught up. Feeling anxious, he said, "Arrived. Where is the snow of the river dragon? You have experienced the ways of the heavens." The handsome man slowly turned around, very surprised. "What history? What is the way of heaven? Are you in a daze? Start talking nonsense." Ush! Like a sudden clap of thunder. Little girl feels dizzy. Shameless game. The Fox clan's turtle belly can sense the way of heaven. Your spirit will truly be stripped away. Her little face flushed with anger. His gaze contained boundless fury. Quickly took out the turtle's belly. In an instant, her delicate figure, stiff as a statue. The entire face was as pale as paper. It felt as if it were trapped by a towering presence. I can't even move my fingers. Zheng Huingrun's true energy. Rummel, rummel. A thunderous roar. The void cracked open. A fantastical, colorful phoenix, arriving in flight, was accompanied by various laws and the sound of the Tao. The phoenix's claw reaches out. The little girl's arm was lifelike. The pattern of the six-tailed fox has disappeared. Moment. The sky has once again returned to tranquility. Yes. Younger sister suddenly disappeared. This little girl may be silly, but not completely naive and simple-minded. Dare to come over. Surely the strongest trump card for escape is hidden. But when I ran into the boss, no means to reach the heavens will work. You're a liar. The little girl glared at the slender figure's back. Tears of regret flowed uncontrollably from my eyes. You have broken your vow. You will be plagued by the misfortunes of the heavenly Tao. No longer has the charm by their side. From now on, you will be the warm that people seek in the human world. I curse you. Dragon overhead. Sore on the buttocks. My heart is about to break. A broken sobbing sound came from behind. Zhu Beiwen burned as if he were unheard. Walk into the capital with composure. Chen Tianmen. The noise suddenly quiets down. The bustling crowd, watching the assistant in the white robe approach. There was a suffocating feeling that made it hard to breathe. I'm back. This period has become a hot topic for Dakhayan. The whole Jeju is singing this name. This man is as brilliant as a rainbow, as bright as a blazing sun. The younger generation of Jeju all became mere supporting green leaves. Desire of the enigmatic. One person monopolizes the four great talents. The unstoppable dominance. Originally in Dakhayan's heart, the mysterious Jai Minju. Absolutely a leader of the younger generation. Imperial princess. Euoxia Palace saintess. Dual identity by your side. The radiance is incredibly brilliant. How could she not be strong? What happened? Collapse and escape. Only countered two moves. suffered humiliation from young Master Zhu. If it weren't for relying on the purity of the sacred energy, the court is probably holding a funeral now. The Jai family ancestral temple will have an additional spirit tablet. As for the other three prodigies, two are dead. The young master of the Great Eye Sanctuary, life and death uncertain. This is young Master Zhu. Who can rival it? His existence. It is the disaster and sorrow of the younger generation. It's hard to imagine the future. How tragic it is. The downfall of Denshig. A colossal wave surged across the 9 provinces. Everyone is shocked and terrified by it. They truly understood the weight of young Master Zhu in the heart of the 5th demon lord. That is an absolute confidant who must not be touched. Dare to touch it, and you must bear the ruthless revenge. From now on, who dares to bully the small with the large? Who wouldn't fear repeating the mistakes of history? I thought it would be another blooming season of flowers, the era of unparalleled prosperity. It seems Zhu Leo is going to take the lead. The court officials were filled with sorrow. Inner peeping, the 9 provinces did not prevent the 5th demon lord from rising. Do we really have to keep working? The powerful rise of Zhu Lio. How can it be done? These two are extremely cold-blooded villains. Deep down, there is a lot of restraint to achieve the goal, even if it upends the lives of all in the land. Not even a frown. Several members of the martial family stared intently at the white robe, straining to suppress the resentment and hatred in her heart. One day, the 5th demon lord will be defeated by a great power. You little sycophant, about to fall into an abyss of no return. You won't be arrogant for long. Zhu Lio's gaze was indifferent, like overlooking a group of weeds. Calmly, he headed towards the Taichu Palace. The night at Jiuzhupan resembles a fairyland. Dai Wu Jin Shuang appeared lazy and carefree, watering the flowers by the pool. In the distance, Zhu Lio's footsteps came to a halt. Gaze. He tried to use those beautiful sentences to describe the appearance of the eldest brother, but it won't do. No matter which word, none of it compares to the boss's experience. The evening breeze gently embraces the moon. At this moment in his eyes, the stars in the sky pale in comparison to the figure in the purple dress. Nyan, the cup has successfully completed its mission. Chapter 78. Put it on. Wanan. 5th Jin Shuang turned around, nodded slightly. Zhu Beiwen strides forward, facing the gentle evening breeze. Bongshen said, "Thank you, Your Highness, for avenging me." Hu Dai Jin Shuang was tired of him. Expression completely unchanged. The tone is cold. "I'm just bored." Zhu Beiwen's expression froze. This sentence allowed him to cultivate his emotions well. It collapsed just like that. Meow. The fat cat appeared out of nowhere. King Kai was pulling Zhu Beiwen to run errands. "Go away." 5th Jin Shuang's red lips painted with 2 characters. Zhu Beiwen suppressed the tiny excitement rising from within. Feigning hesitation, they said, "The 6-tailed fox has arrived. What about the reward promised by the Empress?" Say. Di Jinshuang hand shu. Zhu Beiwen lowered his gaze, staring at the chubby cat beneath my feet. Relieve tension and anxiety. Yet still I dare not speak it out loud, seeing its timid appearance. 5th Jinshuang walked slowly. The gaze was inscrutable. Lengthy silence. Zhu Beiwen took a deep breath. Ken Chai Chai said, "Bar, I." Fat Cat stared in astonishment. The reward is to have a son. A slight shimmer of difference flashed in Jin Shuang's eyes. Immediately, he observed him with great interest. No. Zhu Beiwen finally managed to utter two words with great difficulty, facing hundreds of thousands. He can remain calm and composed in front of the boss, simply reckless and flustered, almost fled in a panic. Nyan, pat. Only one item is offered in the cup. Stuttering, finally spoke complete words. Daiwu Jinshuang remained expressionless. Ready? The pond felt silent again. Daiwu Jinshuang seemed to be able to read his thoughts. A collection of talents. The air by the pond ripples. In an instant, Zhu Beiweng appeared in the hall of the sandalwood goddess. He has gone all out. Take out a pair of black silk from the crescent moon realm, he said, lowering his head tightly. Nyan Yang gets dressed. It is the greatest reward for the cup. The divine feet stepped over the shadowy carpet. Fifth Jinshuang captivated by the phoenix, eyes illuminating the black silk. Liuwa, but it's much longer than socks. It's still black. This piqued his curiosity. Zhu Beiwang quickly nodded, spoke in a muted voice. This cup is handmade. It is to express loyalty to the Empress. Zip. The black silk arrived in Jin Shuang's hands. He gently brushed over, upturned at the corners of the eyes. Dan Dan Dao. The intention has been received by me, seeing the boss means to chase away people. Zhu Beiwen's solitary courage. I apologize for the intrusion. I want to dress the Empress. Falling flower sounds. The air in the inner hall suddenly turned icy. Fifth Jin Shuang's brows and eyes turned a few degrees colder, copper as radiant as the starry river, a chill that pierces the soul. Reckless, do you dare to be disrespectful to me? Zhu Beiwang endured the bone-chilling cold. The throat rolled heavily. Your Majesty, forgive me. The cup is just a way to express gratitude. I certainly didn't mean to be frivolous. Nyan Yang is the most beautiful woman among all the celestial beings. Naturally, one should have the best things. The atmosphere was as cold as an ice cave. Fifth Jinshuang stared at him for a long time. There are no longer many emotions on the face. Mo Ran Dao, be mindful of the boundaries. Otherwise, don't blame me for being heartless. A voice filled with indifference. Listening to the distant Zhu Bei look and understand, yet like the sound of nature. His awkward expression faded away. My heart races inexplicably. She stole a glance upward. A gathering of people, calmly sitting on the brocade couch, smooth and straight legs crossed. Zhu Beiwan approached with trepidation. He half bent down to grab the black silk beside him. Speak softly. As long as the cup has started. He touched that perfect arch for the second time. Light as crystal clear toes. The delicate fragrance lingers at the tip of my nose. Moment. The impact of visuals is unparalleled. Zhu Beiwen was so nervous that cold sweat beaded on his forehead. Gently lift the hem of the skirt. Slowly putting the stockings on the jade-like feet. Fifth Jin Shuang fluttered her eyelashes twice. It seems I can't bear to watch any more. There was a slight movement of turning the head. After a few breaths, Zhu Beiwen just wrapped his delicate ankle like a willow branch. Spray. His vision was completely white. Stepped on the face. The whole person flew out. The fifth Jin Shuang's cold frost retreated. Feeling a bit lost, she tugged at her stockings. Slightly shoulder membrane. He raised his hand to straighten the stockings. The black silk clings to the voluptuous Yun Chen's thighs. A sharply tempting dead forms. He admired it for quite a while, chin slightly raised. Not bet. Chulian. Too much. Zhu Beiwang bit his finger. Command in fat cat. The fat cat lies on the bamboo board. One claw holding the knife. A claw pressed down on the pork belly. Chop it into squares. Zhu Beiwang's sweaty hands. This cat can't speak. Skilled in everything. He brought over a basin of hot water. Zhu Beiwang continued to bite his fingers. The other hand placed the pork belly into the basin. Pour in the homemade white liquor. He spoke to the left. This step is blanching. Eliminate the fishy odor from food. Meow. Fire breathing. The fat cat is lying on the stove. Puffing his cheeks, he blew out flames. Zhu Beiwang poured the oil in. Then add star anise. Ginger releases its aroma. Meow. The fat cat nodded while purring. Unbeknownst to Wen, a group of figures quietly appeared behind. He stared at Zhu Beiwang's actions. Smoothing his brows, the fat cat pointed at the salt shaker and the sauce bottle, and add salt to the lower end spans. This ensures that other flavors won't be damaged. As for the sauce, let's not add it. The Empress prefers sweet flavors. He took out a bottle of rock candy from the storage realm. Pour a few into the pan and stir fry. The pork belly is evenly coated with caramelized sugar until it turns the color of a tiger's neck. Fat cat firmly remembers the order. Dai Wu Jin Shuing had a cold expression on her face, but heard it with great concentration. Remember to keep stirring with a spoon. Next is the stew. Blow the fire a little softer. Almost done. The right cooking time will give the pork belly a bright red color, tender and flavorful. Half an hour later, aromatic braised pork. The fat cat stared with bulging eyes, drooling. Zhu Beiwang looked forward eagerly. Indeed, a figure in a long skirt slowly appeared. This moment, Zhu Beiwang's emotions surged within him. There is an indescribable sense of accomplishment. It's too big to wear. Black stockings wrapped around the calves. Zhu Beiwang, past and present. The first time I saw a woman perfectly embodying the legs from a two-dimensional comic. That kind of aloof and mysterious dreamlike quality. Unclear, but it evokes a confusing heartbeat, like a gentle breeze embracing the warm sun. The waves can't wait. I want to kiss you. Get lost. Dai Wu Jin Shuang avoids Tong Yu Sen. The hem of the skirt sways. Zhu Beiwang seemed to have flown away somewhere again. He couldn't hide behind the table. Took a small bite of the jade piece. Provide feedback. Ordinary. Looking at the fat cat. The fat cat's paw froze while grabbing the meat. With a mournful expression, feeling wronged and aggrieved. Di Jinshuang remained indifferent. Mao. Fat cat quickly stuffed 2 pieces into its mouth. Once again, faced the wall and tore it apart. So delicious. There is no hint of a fishy or greasy taste at all. Unfortunately, there are no cats involved. The cat works tirelessly without complaint. What did I do wrong? Wu Jinfeng placed the meat between her lips. There is a subtle hint of satisfaction in the depths of the eyes. Suddenly, his figure disappeared without a trace. Don't roll. Bianchi. He coldly looked down at Zhu Beiwang walking back. Zhu Beiwang lowered his head, staring at the shining white jade floor tiles. That voice said, "No, it's too dangerous outside. I'll just hide in the palace and cultivate." The spiritual energy here is also rich. Chapter 79. Just hanging on without making waves. Zhu Beiwang lowered his head. The gaze lingers on the beautiful feet wrapped in black stockings. Countless times. No one can see. Cultivating in the palace. You want to become a eunuch. Dai Wu Jin Shuing stared at him. A smile that isn't quite a smile. Zhu Beiwang felt a mix of hesitation and resolve. It's all about being carefree with a single stroke, as if nothing happened. If the Empress wishes for me to become a eunuch, I also feel dizzy. Fifth Jin Shuing stared at him for a long while. The tone was chilling. Go away. Quinziu in disguise. Zhu Beiwing was pushed out by the shockwave. His wings retreated in his gaze. Suddenly appeared on the dining mat. The aroma of the braised pork on the table is overwhelming. You cheated. Wu Jinshuang coldly glared at the tiptoe. The gaze became dangerous. The cat facing the wall puffs up its cheeks, shaking his head innocently. Boop. A gust of hurricane winds surged out. Fat cat feels dizzy, not knowing which corner of the world it flew to. Ding Jinshuang had just picked up a small piece of meat, suddenly put down the chopsticks. Does the angry words still allow this palace to eat? Dayenji, Zhu Beiwang is back again. He endured the imposing pressure. Trembling, I earnestly pleaded, Nanyang, please allow me to cultivate in the palace. The fighting outside is too brutal. I must work hard in secret, then astonish everyone. Dai Wu Jinshuang remained indifferent. Zhu Beiwen steeled himself, added a sentence. What does the empress want to eat? Even someone of low status can do it. He's just being stubborn and won't leave. But Fifth Jin Shuing seemed to be waiting for this sentence. The expression returned to a noble laziness. At your service, anywhere, anytime. Without hesitation. Zhu Beiweng spoke powerfully. Approved. The fifth Jin Shuanking parted her red lips. Zhu Beiwang was overjoyed. Thank you, Your Highness. The story is only half told. He was wrapped in purple mist. Opening my eyes, I found myself in a closed palace. The patterns on the palace roof are hazy and swirling. In the midst of it all, the majestic spirit energy swirls in the clouds. Every breath taken, pores feel exceptionally refreshing. Getting what one wishes for, Zhu Beiweng found a spot. Sit cross-legged. Then opened the crescent moon ring. He made up his mind. We must endure until the heavenly book opens. Temporarily spare the opportunities from the outside world. Recently, I've had a bountiful harvest. It must be thoroughly digested. Oh, the divine sparrow reveals the jade book in the lingering night. It is rumored that the entire book is a fake sacred treasure. Each page records a secret technique. Zhu Beiwang felt a drop of golden blood splatter from his forehead. But the golden remnants of the night tremble and resonate. As it turned, words and patterns appeared simultaneously. A sudden surge moves mountains and rivers. The name sounds quite powerful. Zhu Beiweng is satisfied with the hand. Enter the mind and observe the essentials of palm technique demonstration. After a stick of incense, he gathered the remnants of the night into the crescent moon ring. The power is equivalent to a high-grade earth level, but Zhu Beiweng practiced the beaming, bloodthirsty divine skill. With sufficient vitality, one can unleash the effects of this palm technique. Blessings to the heavenly steps. Next, he took out the copper technique of the extinguishing descent sequence. Purifying water moon, heavenly stairs, middle grade. Truly the unique bronze technique of the great ice sanctuary. Zhu Beiwang gazed at the fine snow. It's a pity. It has returned to me. This path is not as good as this cultivation. The special secret technique of Tongshu must be handled with caution. What if there is something better? 2 treasure-hunting mice. Don't slack off on me. Zhu Beiwang chuckled softly. Just need to take out half a jar of essence blood. At this moment, meow, a fat cat is lying on the windowsill. The whole face is dirty. It looks like it's crawled out of a stinky drain. He gazed with his 4 winged eyes filled with insight. Feeling wronged and aggrieved. Looks like I've been bullied by the boss again. Zhu Beiwen waved his hand. I will make a plate of braised pork for you when I have time. The chubby cat grinned widely, but did not leave. He wanted to meow but stopped, waving two claws. Zhu Beiwen was astonished. Incredible path. You should also wear stockings. Meow. Fat Cat quickly nodded, eager to give it a try. Little did they know Zhu Beiwen coldly rejected. Go away. After pondering for a few seconds, he spoke in a casual tone. I'll talk to you again when you transform into a beautiful girl. Time slowly flows by. In the blink of an eye, more than a month has passed. In front of the Chengshan gate of the imperial city, many nobles gathered together. Whispers, a shocking news report from Jeju has just arrived today. Of course, it's not Zhu Liao. Jiuju Taikeo Palace. At the beginning, some people find it hard not to associate. Could it be that Zhu is actually a male concubine? But soon realized it was absurd. The fifth demon lord is a woman who holds herself high above others. There are no emotions or desires at all. It's impossible to have a shallow relationship with a lackey. The only explanation is Zhu is highly valued. There are subtle signs of a successor's inclination. As for the man staying overnight in the palace, originally unforgivable, but no one dared to say anything. Let's not talk about the emperor's deep slumber for now. Even if full of vigor and vitality, your majesty dares to let out a fart. That is the fifth demon lord, the identity of the imperial noble consort. The people of Jeju are all very aware. It's just a transaction. Several ancient deist sects. There are faint speculations. The Teichu Palace is buried underground with divine artifacts for ascension. This is the true intention of the fifth demon lord. This guess is not unfounded. But there are traces to follow. A powerful figure from a sacred lineage found an ancient text documenting the era of fire and stone tools from hundreds of thousands of years ago. The location of Daiqianjing City. It is a massive altar. The Teichu Palace is located right at the center of the altar. Of course, everything is just a guess within norms. Before the uncertainty, those top forces dare not to flip the table with the fifth demon lord. Have you heard? An official asked in a lowered voice. Everyone nodded in agreement. This news spread across the land like warmth. Contemporary saint of the nine heavens sacred land, going alone to Beijing to battle Zhu Liao. To be honest, just heard the news. They only have one thought in their minds. Who do you remember? Simply self-important, arrogant and dismissive. To put it bluntly, it's unattainable. The battle of the enigmatic prison. The Holy Son and Holy Daughter are no longer mysterious in the eyes of the warriors of Jeju. Zhu Liao stepped on one. This Liao is now powerful and imposing, like the bright red sun hanging high, brilliantly dazzling. The younger generation dares not to look directly. You actually dare to challenge him. Isn't this just asking for humiliation? The cause is quite cliché. The two great sacred places have a close relationship. The chosen ones have long been predetermined by the elders. In other words, if nothing major happens, this holy son will become the imperial son-in-law. However, in the hazy prison, Her Highness the Princess suffered humiliation. Almost lost my life. This is important for a fiancé. Not shy about running naked in front of everyone in the world. An intense sense of humiliation is beyond description. Definitely going to take revenge. Only in front of the people of the world. Defeat Zhu Liao. Only then can the shame be washed away. The court has no confidence in this prince consort. Until some secrets were revealed. The ministers' attitudes have changed dramatically. Jiu Zio Sheng Zai Yu Guangyin. What is jade? Enemy party. Just hearing this name feels very proud and imposing. He wants to withstand the river of time with his own strength. In some ways, Yu Guangyin really achieved it. 8 years of cultivation, 17 years, seventh rank mirror. This talent is already astonishing enough. But he damaged his own meridians and energy center, willing to become a useless person. 17 years old, redoing martial arts. Cultivation advances by leaps and bounds. 20 years old, 6th-rank mirror. In 2 years, from being a useless person to reaching the peak of the 6th rank. First hearing of the story, the ministers felt a chill run down their spines. Truly a hero of our generation. This kind of temperament is simply terrifying. It is countless times stronger than the so-called tiger breeding. Can he extinguish Zhu Yilao's arrogance? Chapter 80. Fifth Jin Shui. Do you want to drink my blood? Boom boom. The bloodthirsty aura surged violently. The beast's shadow roars and struggles in the blood mist. The half-jar of refined blood with the golden lid was nearly empty. The spiritual herbs and medicines have been exhausted. A white robe like that of a blood demon. A saintly aura radiated with the opening and closing of the eyes. Drip. The bell hanging by the window rang. The white robe immediately finished work. Run quickly out of the palace. The 9 provinces pool bathed in the glow of twilight. A purple dress. The blue umbrella lies on the purple hanging chair. The exquisite jade feet entwined in silky elegance. An indescribable idleness. A hanging chair was, of course, handmade by the attendant. He has managed to figure out a bit of the leader's personality. They are very curious about new things. But curiosity doesn't last long, unless he really likes her. Zhu Beiwen lowered his head and let his hands hang down, respectfully and dutifully. Nayan, please translate. Fifth Jin Shuang faced him sideways. Carelessly said, Where is your dragon's blood? Bring it here. Zhu Beiwen did not hesitate at all. Take out the blood bottle from the Crescent realm. You truly are generous to me. This is no ordinary thing. Fifth Jin Shuang curiously examined him. He swung his group in a dazzling display, playing with the blood vial in hand. Deep-set eyes, always observing Zhu Beiwen. I am willing to go through fire and water for your highness. What is the blood of a mere dragon? Zhu Beiwen spoke very seriously. There was no trace of reluctance on her face. Fifth Jin Shuang withdrew her gaze, saying nothing. Nyan. Zhu Beiwen hesitated slightly, said cautiously, These socks have been worn for so long. It's time to change, isn't it? Moment. The breath suddenly turned icy. Fifth Jin Shuang's brows and eyes were icy cold. The tone lacks any warmth. Do you think I am dirty? Zhu Beiwen shivered slightly, said in a panic, Of course not. This level is already limitless. Perfect in every way, without a flaw. Even her jade-like feet exude a delicate fragrance, although avoiding the bones. However, he still couldn't resist the temptation of delicious food. This month, Zhu Beiwen has made at least 100 dishes. Speak. Daiwu Jinshuang stared at him. The tone is eerie. Zhu Beiwen rolled his throat. A strip of meat was pulled out from the tip of the ring. He said hesitantly, The cup wants the Empress to change her outfits. Who will only do one thing seriously? Fifth Jin Shuang narrowed her eyes. Seems to dislike flesh-colored stockings. But curiosity made him want to give it a try. Zip! The silk stocking appeared in his hand. Zhu Beiwen lowered his head, suppressing the tense emotions again. See Shandao, Your Highness, please change the socks for the cup. Rework the cup. This moment, Zhu Beiwen felt an inexplicable surge of courage within, and strong anticipation. Fifth Jin Shuang's eyes are slightly upturned at the corners. The noble and exquisite jade armor remained utterly calm, staring straight at him again. Zhu Beiwang's heart suddenly tightened. Zhuang Yuo casually picked up the small basin. The fish in the feeding pond. Flapping, a red koi fish leaps to the surface, spitting bubbles at the bully who takes advantage of others. Zhu Beiwang could tell at a glance that she was Yu Zioi's twin sister. Ling Cao in the basin intentionally didn't feed him. Read. At this moment, a calm tone came through the translation. Unknowingly, at some point in time, the fifth Jin Shuang has removed her black silk. Throw it over with a flick of the sleeve. Zhu Beiwang's heartbeats quickened. His expression remained calm and composed. As a result, the black stockings were put into the storage room. The touch of fingertips still lingers. The fragrance lingers on the hands, soothing to the heart and soul. Daiwu Jinshuang captured all his movements in detail. He lazily got up, hiding with small steps, suddenly asked, "Do you want to drink my blood?" Zhu Beiwang looked utterly shocked, suddenly shook his head. "Absolutely don't want to." He couldn't hide his shock, even doubted if I had misheard. Fifth Jin Shuang stepped forward, staring at him expressionlessly. "The blood of the dragon is highly valuable. I won't let you suffer any loss." "Not possible.